Here we go. We're going live. Alrighty. It looks like we've gone live. I know because the little, I don't even know what you'd call it, the little thingy at the bottom of my screen shows me the data rates that are passing through. So we are passing some data. Data. That's good.
Wow. Hurts.
Yes, it does. It hurts to pass data sometimes. It's painful.
It's
It's more painful for the people who have to listen to us than anybody else, but it certainly can be painful to pass data. But we look like we're going live here, so we're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. And today we're going to talk about something something a little different. It's going to be branding your videos. And there's a couple of reasons why we want to bring that up. We're going to talk about those and explain why and how you can brand your videos. And there's a couple of different ways you can do that. And can make a big difference when it comes to your videos for a few reasons. And Steve's going to blow his nose while we get ready here.
I muted the mic. Yeah.
All right. Are we ready, Steve?
We are ready, Ray.
Enough of that jibber jabber. Let's get this show on the road. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to talk about branding your videos and why you need to do it. And today's episode, as always lately, is brought to you by our good friends at Movo Photo. Movo provides you with amazing products that will help you to shoot like a pro, even if you're just using your smartphone. So if you need to have a lapel mic, they got you covered. You need to have a wireless mic, they've got you covered. You need lights, they've got you covered. In fact, right here, this is the light. If you're watching this live on Facebook, that light right there is a small Movo light that I have attached right in front of my my little webcam here on the little studio set. So Movo Photo, you can check them out by heading on over to raisebonuses.com/Movo, which, by the way, does work again. It does work again, that link.
Oh, good.
So you can pick up any of their great products there, so check those out. All right, Steve, are you ready to hit that funky music?
Hit that funky music, white boy.
All right. Here we go.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
And it's the radio show about video. That was a weird face. Of course, you always got a weird face.
That's right. It's my face.
Yeah, me
what
too.
Can I do?
It's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. Our homepage, govmm.com. There you can subscribe to all the podcatchers like Apple Podcasts. You can get social with us, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. It's all there.
Plurk.
Plus our archive of programs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Catch us on Plurk, everybody. Plurk.
Plurk.
Place of
Plurk.
the future. Plurk.
Mm-hmm. Plurk.
Or so said in 2007.
Yeah, that was the...
All right. Well, we're not here to drag up the past. Well, actually, we are. We're going to drag up the past a little bit anyway. But we're here to talk about branding your videos. And what do we mean by that? How do we brand them? What ways do we brand them? And why in the world do we put so much emphasis into branding these videos? Because, there's a lot of stuff out there, and there's not that much time in the day. So do you really need to brand your videos? Well, I'm here to tell you, heck yeah, you do. You need to brand those videos. Mm-hmm. And it's not just for the obvious thing. Now, most people think, you got to brand your videos because you want to get your logo out there because that's your brand and you want to use your colors. And there's a lot more to it than just the simple, I need to get my brand put on a video. Believe it or not, branding your videos can actually protect you in a lot of different ways. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to tell a little story. I'm going to hit that little Wayback Machine. Whoa, Steve even got pixelated for that one. That was good. So what we have is going back probably, I want to say to maybe 2012, somewhere around there. I used to work with a diet product, and we used to sell a lot of this diet product, and we produced a ton of videos. We had these, we would interview one of the guys who used this product, and we did all this different, these different videos that really showcase the product, what it could do, why it worked, how it worked. And these videos were very, very distinctive. They used a red and blue branding that was very prominent. It had an animated logo on it. It had the lower thirds. It had a border around it. Everything, the end screens were all this bright red and blue, and the pictures of the product. And, we did that specifically because we just wanted to get our name and logo out there. We just wanted it to be branded. We wanted it to look like it was our video. There wasn't anything specific behind it other than that. But what we soon discovered was that branding these videos actually protected us when it came to certain issues. For instance, at one point in time, it was very popular for software to go out, grab YouTube videos that were related to a keyword, stick somebody else's logo or whatever in it, upload the video back to YouTube with a link to whatever product they were selling. So in our case here, we were selling the HCG diet, if anybody remembers that one. It was a very popular one back in the days. And we had all these videos, and people would search HCG on YouTube with a bot software, and the bot software would pull up all the different videos that had HCG, and it would download these videos. It would put their logo onto the video and put like a really cheesy looking banner with text on there that said, to get your HCG, go here, and it would have a link to a website. And then in the description, it would have the link to their website as well. Well, because our videos were so well branded with our logos and our blue colors and everything else, we actually got messages. This is back in the old days when on YouTube, people would send messages back and forth. We actually got messages from people going, hey, somebody's stealing your videos. And they left us links. And the only reason that they knew that they were stealing our videos was because they were so well branded with this information, with this logo, the animations, and everything else, to the point where people could recognize immediately that the person who stole this video was not us. It was obviously somebody else trying to, use our videos for other purposes. We were able to go in and shut that person down completely. Their entire channel got shut down, and we were able to reach out to the company that he was the affiliate for. They shut him off there completely, and he was out of business faster than you could say HCG, which was good. But it was all because we branded the videos in a way that people could recognize them and then know that it belonged to us. So how did we go about branding this so that this was important? Well, like I said, we had that blue and red in everything that we did. It was around the video, it was in the lower thirds, it was in the end screens, it was in the animated logo. We had our logo on the screen the whole time. All of these things helped people to know who really owned that particular video. And so not only can that protect you, but of course, just like when we put it on there, it also helps to get people to know who you are. And so when they see this look and they see that logo, they recognize it, they understand who you are, and of course, then they can look for more of your videos. This is a very important thing and one that's done by big brands. So in other words, if you look at one of the popular ones that I like to showcase for YouTube channels is Gillette the razor people. Every one of their videos is branded extremely well. If you see a video in a search, you know it belongs to Gillette because they've got the thumbnail branded, the video itself is branded, everything about it is branded specifically to Gillette. So you know that it's their stuff. And that can be very helpful when people are looking for different things and they want to make sure that they're getting things from the proper source. They'll be able to see instantly, oh, this is one of the official Gillette videos, let's take a look at that. Or, maybe it's Coca-Cola or Ford or Pepsi or whoever it happens to be. If things are properly branded, it easily allows people to go from one of your videos to another of your videos without being fooled into thinking that some other video, that takes them away and down some other path, they know that it's yours. They know to stay away from, not to stay away from other ones, but you get the idea. They know how to stay with your videos when that's what they're looking for. And that's a very important thing. So anytime that you can do that, thumbnails are a huge part of this. And what that means with the thumbnails is you want to have, some sort of image, and it could be an image of a person. In my case, with my videos, it's usually my fat head that you see on the thumbnails. You're going to see me literally in the thumbnail, and then it's going to have some information. Now, I'll be honest, with mine, my branding tends to be, all over the place with different things because you'll see my face, but maybe this time it's going to be a blue background. Another time it might be a red background. And depending upon the type of video that it is, I'll actually change that. So for instance, in all of my free giveaway stuff, you actually see me standing in a studio with a TV monitor on the side, and then it has big bold letters that says, free stock backgrounds, and another one that says free stock music. But it looks the same all for that particular video series, so all of the free giveaways. In the training series, it's usually a picture of me close up and me cut out and put onto a background with a colorful background and big letters, saying what that particular lesson is about. So different types of content may have different, or at least slightly different thumbnails, but all leading back to the branding. And again, if you want to talk about Gillette, they're a great example of this. If you go to their channel page, you'll see that they've got a variety of different categories of video. So some could be like Gillette TV commercials. Another one would be manscaping is a popular one that they have on there. They've got one for different types of beards, how to trim beards a certain way. And each one of those collections of videos has a slightly different style to the thumbnail. However, they all still have Gillette vertically on the right-hand side so that everyone is still branded towards Gillette. And they all kind of still look similar text-wise and whatnot. But one of them uses cartoon drawings for the background. Another uses actual people's faces. But you still have that Gillette. You still have that same type of typography on there. So you can tell right away this is an official Gillette commercial or an official Gillette video. And so that's what we try to do, is make sure that all of our branding is the same. For one of my dental clients, we've gone with one particular type of thumbnail. It's a very distinct one that you can pick out very quickly and very easily. And it has his branding on it, uses certain colors, and it has his picture. And then it just has the text. So that's one way, is to use thumbnails. That's a great way to brand all of your videos together. But of course, that's not branding your actual video. Having a great thumbnail does not stop anybody from stealing your video and using it if it's not well branded. So we need to brand the actual video itself before it's ever even uploaded to YouTube. And there's a number of ways that we can do that as well. One is to always have your logo on the video, so you can literally, what's called, some people call it a bug, and it's a little logo that sits in the corner of your particular brand. Now, it can go in any of the corners, but as long as that's on there, you get that little watermark, everybody's going to know that that's your video. And that's a very simple and easy way to do that. Another way is to have some sort of framing on your video, and maybe you use certain colors, and maybe you use your logo in that framing. Certain type of text. When you're doing your lower third has your logo, it has your colors, and it uses a certain text. And I don't know if you guys can hear the people destroying the building outside here, so I apologize if you can, but my mic may not pick that up, but boy, it's really loud.
I could hear some rubbing. It sounded like you were rubbing your mic or something.
Yeah, it's people outside trying to destroy the building, I guess.
Okay, now I hear. Okay, yeah.
There you go. Okay. So anyway, I don't want to interrupt that, but in case people get confused, just to let you know, it's outside and it's driving me crazy. But at least the building isn't shaking like the one day where I actually took video where the whole building was shaking like an earthquake when they were trying to do stuff out there. So anyway, going back to what we were talking about. So lower thirds are a great way to brand your videos as well. End screens. So if you're going to put an end screen on your video, have a very distinct looking end screen. Maybe you've even got a picture of yourself, your logo. For instance, in my videos, I actually had a photographer come in and take a bunch of pictures of me, in front of a green screen, just doing different poses and things like that. So on my end screens, you'll see me like looking and pointing at stuff, and that's my end screen. And so it kind of ties everything together. And people, you can't be confused by that when it's got my fat head sitting there pointing at stuff and it has my logo on there and my branding. It's gonna make sure that people can't steal your videos. They're gonna know whose videos these actually are. So a nice end screen can work wonders for that. Another thing that you can do, of course, is, we mentioned putting framing around it, but if you can do some sort of text background sort of deal. So for instance, when you list something and you're going to show a graphic where it lists a bunch of words, you could have a very specific framing and background that you use for that, so that when people see that, you can even embed the logo in it, all sorts of things. So when people see that, they're not going to be able to steal that without everybody knowing, hey, this is obviously somebody else's video. And of course, the big thing is we want people, when they watch a video, to go, oh, this is so-and-so's video. And by branding it that way, people will know right away, okay, there we go. Boom, that is clearly this person's video, and they know they can trust it. If they know they can trust you, they know that's your video, then they'll follow through with that. And we see that a lot, and people are getting much, much better on it. Even some of the weird garbage that I watch on YouTube has very strong branding on different things. And it always surprises me when I see that from just fun creators making sure things are branded. Obviously, with a client, you want to have it very well branded for a lot of different purposes. Now, the other one that I want to talk about that can really help to not only brand your videos, but it can provide people with, it can really make your videos look professional, and that's to use some sort of animated logo. Animated logos are one of my favorite things, and all it is your logo in a Hollywood-style animation that flies in and says whatever. In my case, in a lot of my videos, it's that animation of me running down the street with the signs behind me and the YouTube stuff going on. So having that is another way to do that. And if you need to have an animated logo like that, well, of course, we've actually got a service that we've run for years called Animate Your Logo at animateyourlogo.com. And for a very reasonable price, we take your logo, we put it into a very nice Hollywood-style animation with background music and things like that, and you can then put it in all of your videos. Now, some word of advice about the branding with that: you don't want to do what a lot of people have done in the past. You don't want to put that animated logo right at the beginning, because you're wasting those first 5-8 seconds on this animated logo, and by the time it's halfway through, people have already turned off your video. So what you want to be able to do is have some sort of opening in your video and then do an animated logo. So for a lot of the clients that we work with, when we do this type of thing, we'll have them say if it's like a fencing company, they would say, "Hey, this is Brian from such and such fencing, and over the next 2 minutes, we're going to show you why you need to have 3 hinges on your gate." And then it'll have the animated logo, and then it will go into why you need 3 hinges on your gate instead of 2, which, by the way, is very important. So that's how we like to brand those things out, is put somebody on there first who gives an idea of what's going to happen. Then you can brand it with an animated logo, and then tell your story, and then have an ending on there. So that's another great way to brand that out there. And we use animated logos for a lot of clients all the time. We do animated logos for a lot of other people that just need an animated logo, and they can be very effective. They can really help to brand your video, make you look very professional, because not a lot of people can do that kind of thing, especially if it's a nice one. A lot of people can do very simple ones, but when you've got a really nice Hollywood-style one, it can really make a big difference and make your brand look more upscale and professional. So an animated logo is a great way to do that. Again, animateyourlogo.com. Check it out. Please, check it out. So one last thing I want to talk about when it comes to branding is something that I actually had a lot of conversations about earlier. Now, Steve, you know my good buddy Mike Stewart.
Absolutely.
Well, Mike Stewart actually has a new program that he's put together, which is incredible for branding. And what it is logo jingles. So in other words, you've heard a million jingles out there. 1-800-CARS-FOR-KIDS. And that one makes you want to blow your brains out. But these jingles, these earworm-style jingles, can be very good at branding your video without anything visual. It's all audio. And what Mike has put together is an absolutely incredible program for businesses to be able to do that. And what he did things a little bit different. Traditionally, when you see a jingle, it's like, I'm not sure, Coke is it, woo, and that's it, that kind of a thing. Well, what he's done is he's come up with a formula specifically for getting people to take an action with the jingle and doing it in a way that if you're running ads, by the time people can skip the ad, you've already delivered that message. And it's actually very, very smart. So for instance, for one that we did this for, and we're running YouTube ads for, is a company called Canton Termite and Pest Control. And the jingle, it says right at the beginning, it says, Google Canton Termite and Pest Control. That's the first line of the jingle. So it's Google Canton Termite and Pest Control. Okay, so now if you're running this as a YouTube ad, you've only got 5 seconds before people can hit that skip button. Well, now they've heard that they need to Google that particular term. And when we run ads, now we've gotten him, thousands of views, full views from YouTube ads. However, when you look at all the impressions, it's in the tens and tens of thousands of people who they hit that skip button, but for free, we got that jingle in front of them so that they can take an action. People know that it's them. The video is branded to them, and it's done in a way that it's going to stick in their head, and they're going to remember that, and it's probably going to drive them crazy, but they'll remember it, and when they need pest control, they're going to remember Google Canton Termite and Pest Control, right? And so now they've got that in their head, and he also sings the phone number, which if it can, that one usually fits into that 5 seconds as well. So within 5 seconds, you're trying to get that, tell them to Google something, and here's the phone number. And once you have both of those things there, even if somebody skips the ad, too late. They're branded. They get branded with that earworm, and they end up singing it for the rest of the day and again next week. And it just makes a big difference. And as far as branding your videos, putting some sort of jingle in there is going to make it so that people can't steal that. Nobody's going to try and steal my videos when, after I do the introduction, there's a song literally singing about me. It just, it wouldn't make sense to steal that. It's just not going to work. So branding with that, the logos, branding with the animated logos, the watermarks, the lower thirds, the end screens, the behind text screens, and of course the jingles is a great way to do that. Steve, you've got something you want to say about all this.
You got a URL there for Mike?
You know what? I don't yet, but I will. I'll have one, and we can put it in the show notes, so that'll be coming. So. And, it's a very exciting stuff and reasonably priced, too. So it's, you get that, you get the animated logo, and nobody's going to steal your stuff because it's going to be well branded along with those thumbnails and everything else in between. So there you go. That's all I've really got to say about that. I thought it was an important topic, but I know it's a short topic. So
no, it's good stuff. I like this jingle and animate your logo thing. I think that's a great combination.
The jingle thing is it's sweeping the nation, I tell you. Slowly but surely.
Empire Carpeting in Chicago.
Oh, wait. I know their jingle as well, and and I've never been to Chicago in my life.
I mean, I still remember this from 50 years ago. It was the 888-3200 Empire.
Empire today.
Yep. Yeah.
Because they're out of Chicago, but they sell nationally, so their commercials would pop up in when I was in California all the time, and in Utah they popped up there as well. So on TV and radio. So
they've been running those for 50 years. In fact, the guy that was their spokesman 50 years ago, who's been gone for years, they still have an animation of him.
That's what I used to see is the animation where he rolls out the carpet.
Yep.
It can get into your head and stay there, and that's the beauty of these types of jingles is especially they got the phone number in there or some sort of call to action. You got them.
I really like the phone number, and that's great for attorneys because they're trying to get people to pick up the phone and call them. You put
that's one of the things that Mike and I were talking about earlier, because a lot of those attorneys, and people may not know this is an interesting thing, is if you ever drive through Vegas, and which is what I was telling Mike, you'll see this. Every attorney has like some funky number like 444-4444 or 222-2222 or 222-2000. And the reason is because smart marketing people ages ago went around the country and bought all of these easy to remember numbers, and now they lease out those numbers to these attorneys. So they'll go to Chicago and they'll say, "Hey, Chicago attorney, I've got, this 444-4444. Do you want it? It's only going to be, $1,000 a month." And you put it on your billboards and everyone will be able to remember to call you. And he doesn't pay one day, well, you pull that out and you send it to another attorney, and now they're the 444 guy. So a lot of that goes on. And if you can make jingles based off of that, call the 444 or 444 attorney, that whatever. I'm not a singer.
444 for DUI.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, and it's the same, with anything. I'm sure that many of our listeners, all 5 of you in different areas of the country, probably have an attorney in your area who does, one call, that's all. Well, there's somebody who owns that phrase, who leases out that phrase to an attorney in each of the cities and gets paid just for the attorney to be able to say one call, that's all. and they've got branding based around that and everything. So you'll see a lot of the same branding in this city as that city with a different attorney. And it's very smart. And you see that with furniture companies. There was a furniture company in Rhode Island that I always thought had these amazingly clever commercials and whatnot. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. And then I was in the other side of the country, and I saw the exact same commercial with a different company's name on it. And I'm like, and it finally got in my head. I'm like, oh, somebody built this branding package and sells it to the different companies across the country, and it makes perfect sense. And that works as well. There was a great one of one of the ones that I always remember. I thought this was fantastic. It was a lady, and she's got a chainsaw, and she's slicing her couch and her chair in half, and this stuff flying everywhere. And the husband's got a paper in his hand, and he goes, "It says here you might be a winner. Might be a winner." And then it says, "You need new furniture," and then the branding of that particular business. But they had that running in different cities for different furniture companies. So, that's the same type of thing. You can outsource that branding. You don't have to do your own. It can be very unique in that way too. But as long as you brand your stuff to make sure that people remember you. I remember Alpert's Furniture. That's the ones who did it. Alpert's Furniture. I'll never forget them because I remember those commercials. We'll never forget, 2300 Empire and all these other ones. 444 4444 guy. But you got to use that branding to make sure that people know who you are, but also to protect yourself on YouTube and other places as well. Indeed.
Very good.
Kind of like right there, down below this. If you're watching, see that? There's my branding right there.
Oh yeah, there it goes.
That is everywhere, and that was an accident, by the way. It's because it's not the greatest logo in the world at all, but it's become so synonymous with me, I can't get rid of it now. But it was just a joke one time, and I just started using it for things, and everyone remembers. Oh yeah, the orange and yellow with the guy on there with the camera. I'm like, yep, yep. So here it is, 10 years later, and it's still being used.
There you go.
Well, I don't even like the color orange, which is the sad part.
But it's forever associated with you. Orange.
It is. Everything orange and yellow is associated with me now. Sorry, Hulk Hogan, you're out of the picture.
Yeah, right. Oh, there it goes again.
There it goes again.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah. I'm the red and yellow Hulkster. All right, with that.
Okay, I was going to start something, but let's not.
Oh, no, start something. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, there was a guy that he did this Paul Harvey imitation, and he would do ads for furniture stores, and all the ad was some kind of background and the script for what he was saying rolling on there with the logo for the furniture company. So this Saturday, 2:00, we're having the biggest, Paul Harvey. But this Saturday, I don't do Paul Harvey, but he did, and it was very emphatic. It was like, 2:00 Saturday, the biggest furniture sale ever. If you miss out on this one, you're not an American, and just, the guy sounded kind of like Paul Harvey, and he made a ton of money selling those to furniture stores.
We had an Arnold Schwarzenegger furniture seller that did commercials up near us. But think about that. Think about that audio branding. If I said to you right now, I said, Saturday, what am I talking about?
Yeah, drag racing,
monster trucks. It's that branding. Right away when they say that Sunday.
Yep.
That's going to be exactly. Gravedigger is coming to town when you hear that.
Yeah, I was always into the drag racing and the, this is how old I am. I remember US 30 drag strip just outside of DeKalb, Illinois. So that was what that was for. And then they also Sunset Speedway in Omaha, and they did the same thing. I mean, you name it, any racetrack did it.
Yep.
I'm sure it was just hugely prevalent in North Carolina.
Big tires and lots of gas. You knew that something related to that was coming when you heard that voice.
Yep.
And that's that's all part of the branding. They want you to pick that up and catch on to that all the time. And again, audio, ding 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 ding. Everyone knows that's Intel. And AT&T's got their little audio jingle and things like that. And those are not audio jingle, but audio mark, which is like a trademark, but it's an audio mark. And a lot of businesses are doing that as well because that differentiates them. When you hear that sound, you know it's Intel. You know that it's AT&T. You know that it's Sprint. A lot of those companies have that. And some of our clients are even trying to do it now too, the same type of thing. So
cool. Very cool.
Anything to brand yourself and get you set apart and let people know who you are is going to be something that is powerful.
Yes, very powerful. Very powerful. All right, my friend. Well, there's another video marketing madness for another week. You're going to be gone next week. You're going to be out in the middle of the desert, aren't you?
I am. I'm going to be gone.
Yep. Back
Sad
next
but
Saturday,
true.
so no show next week.
Dealing with liars again. All the liars. So.
Well, you'll be selling some stuff to what, attorneys?
Well, no, I'll be in the office out there that we have, and we'll be working on some new products that we're going to be selling. So,
with Corey and Will, what is that? Clixy? Is that the name of that?
Clixy, CLIXSY, Clixy.
Yeah. All right. Very cool.
Well, there's a lot of news on here about Michael Jackson's sons launching YouTube shows. I'm watching the scroll down at the bottom of the page.
I see that.
I guess they're busy.
I see that. Yeah.
Indeed. All right, folks. Well, with that brings us to the end of another episode of Video Marketing Madness. And Steve, who's this one brought to us by?
Well, isn't it Movo?
That's right. It is Movo, the creators of amazing video production equipment for everybody. So this isn't just the super high-end $10,000 lights and things like that. This is stuff that you and I can purchase and use in our home studios or professional studios. Everything from microphones that plug into your iPhone to high-end microphones that plug into expensive cameras, lights, LED lights, that is, a whole different, just a wide variety of these beautiful LED lights. We're using one right here. It's a very small one that I stick on the top of the monitor there so that I can shoot on my my little background here. We've got a bunch of those lights over there, all by Movo. We got a bunch of microphones. I've even got a really cool one that sits, and it's a little tiny shotgun microphone. I think I showed it on here one time, and it sits right on the top of your camera.
Has the dead cat
my case
on
here. Yep. What I've got literally that I'm looking at right now is I've got the Movo iPhone holder on top of the tripod. On top of that, I've got the Movo LED light. And on top of that, I've got the Movo shotgun mic attached to that because they all lock together using the cold shoe mounts. So I can stick all those together. I stick my iPhone in there because a lot of people don't believe me when I tell them this. But, I've got really nice cameras over in my storage over here, some really nice ones, expensive ones too. And when I shoot on my green screen here, when I shoot my videos of me, I use my iPhone. And so I use the Movo stuff to hold the iPhone, to light the iPhone, and to stick a microphone on the iPhone. And it all works extremely well. It's very inexpensive, easy to use. And, the main reason I use my iPhone, by the way, is not just because it takes a great picture, but because I can, put it on there. I can see what I'm shooting while I'm shooting it. And I know it's going to be in focus, whereas I've tried to use, like my really nice DSLRs, and I need a camera operator to do it because I'll shoot it, I'll think everything's okay, and I'll get it back, and it's all out of focus, and I'm like, and I got to set it back up and try again. With the iPhone, don't have to worry about any of it.
With the iPhone, you've got real good lighting to begin with, and it's so why wouldn't you use it? I mean, that's the only thing with the iPhone is you just got to make sure you got good lighting, and then you're fine.
Anytime you're using something with a small lens like that, and that goes, that even goes with like the GoPros and stuff. You want to have really good lighting to make sure that you get the best picture you can. But by the way, I'm using the selfie camera on the iPhone too. I'm not even using the good camera. I'm using the selfie camera, which is still, still HD and takes an amazing picture. I do my green screening with it and everything else. And it's because I use all these Movo products that I can connect it all nice and easily and do that. So check all of this out at raisebonuses.com/Movo, and you'll be able to pick up all the great products they have available right now. So there you go.
Wow, very cool.
And with that, another episode has come to an end. Shall we hit once again that lovely melodic music that we call the Ray the Video Guy theme song?
Do it, Ray, and safe travels to you.
All right, thank you, and here we
He's
go.
Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.